Good morning. On behalf of myself, Mr. Majid Fadlallah, and the entire staff at the Henry Ford Early College, thank you all for joining us on this beautiful morning, and I'd like to officially welcome you to the 2022 Commencement Ceremony for the Henry Ford Early College. To start our ceremony, I would like to call Nora Abed and Nasreen Maru to the stage for our Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing. Please remain standing as Nora and Nasreen will be followed by Ms. Vanessa and Kevin Dewey for our national anthem. Sorry, the flag is over there above the scoreboard.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? For the strength of community, for the joy of diversity, for the hope of humanity, we sing in one accord. For the love of artistry, for the lessons of history, for the pride of industry, the hallmark of Henry Ford. Pro bono omnium, for the good of all. Pro bono omnium, heed the clarion call. Pro bono omnium, stand together tall. Pro bono omnium, for the good of all.
Thank you. For many reasons, the students sitting before me are a special class to the entire staff at the early college. You all played an instrumental role in the Blue Ribbon Award, an award that only 12 high schools in the state of Michigan has ever received. It is the highest honor bestowed upon the hard work of students, staff, parents. So please take a moment to recognize that today. Our school building is unique in many ways, specifically in the fact that we are here today recognizing two different programs, our health and advanced manufacturing students. The Henry Ford Early College averaged an GPA of 3.72. They have also earned 3,531 college credits. The advanced manufacturing students earned an average GPA of 3.58 with a total of 3,002 college credits. You add that all up, and you're looking at nearly $1 million worth of college credit. An absolute incredible endeavor, and you all deserve another round of applause for that. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize those on stage with me today. From our Dearborn Public Schools Board, we have Ms. Irene Watts, and Trustee Adel Mozip. From the administrative staff, we are joined by Ms. Fatima Faraj, the Executive Director of Student Achievement, Mr. David Mustanen, our Director of Communications, Ms. Pam Miller, our Director of Payroll and Benefits, President of the Henry Ford College, Russell Kavalhuna, Dr. Marva Brooks, who's the Program Director at the Henry Ford Health System, Dr. Beeper Mamluk, the Program Director at the Henry Ford Health System, and a special thank you and recognition to our Superintendent, Dr. Glenn Maleyko, who without his hard work, dedication, and passion, none of this would be possible today. I would also like to thank some people that you might be more familiar with. First, and the most important person to all of us is Ms. Fatia Naji, who is over there, who is our mother, the first face we see every single morning. She's guided me through the school year with ease. And today's a special occasion, and she's also celebrating her birthday, which she asked me not to say. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Majid Fadlallah, who has offered all of us over the last 28 years unwavering support, dedication, and commitment. I'd like to recognize the phenomenal and extremely talented teaching staff that are here with us today. Miss Lisa Stevens, Lori Smykowski, Miss Wala Ajmi, Mr. Hussein, Counselor Extraordinaire, Miss Carrie Bazzi, also one of the greatest counselors we've seen, Mr. Michael Guthrow, Sonia Beydoun, who was also my teacher back in 1998, my coworker, and I'd like one more round of applause for her as she is retiring this year. Mr. Andrew Saya, the man who I think lives in the building, Brian Riley, Miss Arwa Mogali, and Ms. Tara Haddad. Oh, sorry. Lastly, Ms. Katie Myers. I think, is that everybody? Thank you. Thank you to our parents that are here with us today and our school community. Sorry, there's more, the page flipped. The achievements and accomplishments of our graduates are only possible due to the support that you have offered over the last 18, 19 years of their lives. So one round of applause, please, for our lovely parents. At this time, you're probably sick of hearing me, so I'd like to welcome two guest speakers. Well, first, we will welcome Dr. Glenn Maleyko, our superintendent, and he will be followed by Mr. Adel Mozip. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salamey. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it is a little windy here, right, with the pages? Although it is nice with the breeze, so it's not so hot like it will be for the graduation ceremonies next month. It's really a pleasure and an honor for me to be here today to welcome our outstanding staff, supportive parents, families, honored guests, and of course, our incredible students. Since Mr. Salamey did a great job introducing all of the individuals, I'll kind of give some general thank yous to our Board of Education, Mr. President Kavalhuna, the entire HFEC faculty, including administration, the teachers, the support staff. Also want to thank Henry Ford Hospital and Ford Motor Company. Today we gather to celebrate the successful ending of a journey in the lives of these graduates. It has been a long journey to reach this point, a journey that included living through one of the most historic events in our time. Living through the pandemic has taught us that change, although sometimes very difficult, will always be a part of our lives, part of our journey. How you react to that change, how you adapt to that change, and how you overcome the difficulties as a result of that change will shape your character as a person and determine your ability to be successful in life. Being here today is proof that you have gained that ability to adapt and achieve, and I congratulate you all for that. You are now ready to begin a new and personally unique journey filled with new challenges, new rewards, and new risks. Always remember, taking a risk often pays off with big rewards. For a sports team, the big play at the end of the game comes with a lot of risk, but if accomplished successfully, the reward is winning the game. In business, starting your own company is a risk, but delivering a new product or service to the market can have a tremendous reward. In our personal lives, meeting someone for the first time can be a big risk, but building a lasting relationship can have great rewards, as I know you've done in your 5 years here in this school. Our graduates gathered here today understand the concept of risk and reward. When they were entering the 9th grade, they made a commitment to a different high school experience, but one that came with great opportunity, as I know they're aware. For some, it may have been an easy decision, but for others, was a decision that came with doubts and a sense of risk. However, over the last 5 years, they have overcome obstacles, gained experience, learned many new lessons, accomplished goals, and most of all, grew into the successful and young people seated here today. Graduates, you decided to take a risk, challenge yourself, and push the bar a little higher. Mark Twain said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. Now is your time to explore, dream, and discover. Don't be afraid of the journey ahead. Rather, embrace it. Be tenacious in the pursuit of your goals. Use the knowledge you have learned to continue to solve problems and overcome obstacles as you all have done. I know these past 5 years have been a great experience for you, filled with friendships, challenges, fun, and of course, lifelong learning. On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to congratulate all of the Henry Ford Early College students graduating here today and wish you success and happiness in the days ahead. Thank you, and have a safe and fun graduation day.
Thank you, Mr. Salamey, and thank you, Dr. Maleyko. That's a hard act to follow. Good morning, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, staff, and friends, and most importantly, graduates. My name is Adel Mozip, and on behalf of the Board of Education, Board of Trustees, I also welcome you to the graduation ceremony. I'd like to acknowledge here my colleague, Trustee Irene Watts, who have been acknowledged. Obviously, Trustee Watts and myself have similar challenges that we've been going through. For those who don't know her, she is Ukrainian American, and we all know what's happening in Ukraine. We pray for Ukraine, and we pray for peace in Ukraine, as we also pray for peace in Yemen, Palestine, Syria, and elsewhere, anywhere in the world. I'm going to be very honest with you. I had a hard week. Between the board obligations, my contractual obligations at work, and being a full-time dad and a full-time mom this time, because my wife actually left me, or left us for Umrah, and it was such a coincidence that she was there at this week when she's actually, I missed her so much, and I just realized how much she does for us. So thank you to my wife, Ms. Jabbar, for everything that she has done for me. Many of you have made it here, graduates, with so much to carry. Your parents, guardians, and loved ones who are here with you today, and also for those who have passed away since you enrolled at Henry Ford Early College. Many of you probably have lost a family member due to the pandemic, due to something else. But I also have lost my best mentor in life, and that is my grandmother. My grandmother passed away when she was probably 105, so she lived a good life. And she taught me a lot of lessons. She was a second mother to me. She raised me and taught me many life lessons that I would like to share with you today. Graduates, you made it. But your work and your road does not stop here. I know the past 5 years have been like a roller coaster, wasn't it? Full of many challenges, and a full world pandemic was thrown at you. Many of you will say the online experience wasn't that great. We didn't learn much. We missed out on a lot of things that we should have learned that our the folks who graduated before us and the folks who will graduate after us will have. I'm so lacking. I say rest assured. While you did, I acknowledge you did miss on a lot of, differential equation or differentiation and calculus, and some classes and some concepts that you will need in your professional world. But you have learned a lot of life lessons, like resilience. And I'm not gonna keep much, because I know this a little bit windy, as Dr. Maleyko have mentioned. I'm not gonna keep you much, and I know the sun is out there, and people will be like, man, come on, we need to go. We need to see the graduates, and you sure do. I see some people clapping there. Yeah, I agree. The fact of the matter, graduates, the feelings that you're feeling right now, I want you to enjoy them. I want you to really, really enjoy these feelings and enjoy today, because you're gonna remember it forever. I'm pretty sure that you will take 5 years ago when you were accepted into this program, and obviously this program, as we all know, is a lottery-based system, right? So you pretty much hit the lottery when you got into this program. So I want you to remember your feelings. How were your feelings? Were you excited? Were you anxious? Were you be like, what am I getting myself into? Were you terrified? Were you saying, I'm gonna spend another year and my other classmates are gonna the ones that I grew up with are gonna graduate a year early? As Dr. Maleyko said, you took a risk, but today you're getting that reward. you're getting an associate's degree along with your high school diploma. I was like you. I took a risk when I was in high school. I was only 2 years in the country, and I applied for a program that we had called the Academy of Engineering and Technology. It was later merged with DCMST, Dearborn Center for Science and Math and Technology. In that program, I would spend the same thing, half of the day at Michael Berry Center and half of the day at Fortson. I missed Fortson's yearbook. I missed the picture. I missed Fortson's, all activities that the seniors had in the morning, we missed them because we were at Michael Berry Center. But what did I gain? I gained a lot from AET. I gained a lot of experiences from teachers like Mr. Whitaker, Mr. Knack, Mrs. Bisankin. They all taught me a lot of life lessons that I will share with you today. And sorry, my phone keeps unlocking. Isn't that annoying? So whether you're going to a four-year college or you're going straight up to the workforce, remember that you're still representative of this district. You will carry Dearborn schools in your heart. And you will remember and you will give back once you're out there. I would like to recognize individuals today. I know we can talk about the folks who graduated with a 4.3 GPA, 4.7. I don't know actually what the highest GPA has. And those people deserve to be recognized and deserve to be here today and recognized for their academic achievement, because that's exactly what you're supposed to do. But today, I would like to recognize students who might not fit this criteria. I would like to recognize students who are graduating today who worked another job while being in this program to help their families make ends meet. I would like to recognize graduates who have some form of disability that probably we do not know, but managed to overcome it and be here as a graduate with us today. I would like to recognize graduates who have lost loved ones, especially if they were your parents. And despite that, you struggled and you overcame that struggle to be here today. I would like to recognize graduates who came to this country in the last maybe decade, but managed to learn English very well and graduate with us today. I would like to recognize graduates who struggled with their mental health during COVID, but struggled enough and managed to be here today. Grads, I would like to share one advice that I share with all of the youth in my graduation. I was gonna take Fortson's speech and make it here, but I was like, that's gonna be so cliche. I need to know more about Henry Ford Early College students. But this advice is universal. Malcolm X said, education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. I hope that after the celebration today, and after you go home, you reflect on that quote. Because it is the quote that I go in my life, and I hope that you will follow suit and be even better than Adel. So I'll go finally with my grandma's lessons, and they're very quick, and they're very easy. The lessons were like standing up for what's just, what's right, even when it's unpopular to do so. Lessons to always be an upstander. Always, whenever you see something wrong, you say something. You combat bullying immediately. You don't just watch, and you don't stay as a bystander. Lessons like, for those who are underserved, you look out for them. For those who don't speak the language, you help them out. For those who have some kind of disability, you look for ways to make their life easier. You try to be empathetic with them. You look out for the most vulnerable of us, for the weak, for those who are struggling with any form of disability that you may know or may not know. To always be honest. She taught me to always be honest. She taught us, as-sidq yunjik. Truth will always set you free. To say the truth, even if it's against yourself, or one of your family members or friends, and to have a moral compass in your life that you can sleep very well at night. to work for the best of all, just like we heard today, pro bono omnium, for the good of all, not just for the good of selective few. At the beginning of the speech, I told you that my lifetime mentor has passed away. And I'm thankful, and I say, Allah yarhamsh ya jaddati. Thank you for all the things that you have done for me. For all the nights that I have came to you and literally cried because I failed. I thought I failed. And she says, Adel, every time you fall, you just have to look into life in the next few years. And I promise you, and I know she's, 101, she said, I promise you things will turn out okay. I'd like to ask the graduates now to stand and look behind you, because your parents and your friends are behind you. You will always be successful. You will always be successful when you have these people behind you, rooting behind you, looking out for you. Your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, your friends. So in the time of adversity, you may sit down. Thank you, grads. So in the time of adversity, you're gonna be leaning on one of those in the stands, or some friend that you hold dearly, or some family member that you will always recognize. Now, if you can excuse me, and all of you, and I know I have taken more time than I should have, but I want to say a few words in Arabic so the parents who have limited English proficiency would clearly understand what I just said, and I will very summarize it. الأمهات الكريمات والآباء الموقرون جميعا، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بالنيابة عن نفسي وجميع أعضاء المجلس التربوي في مدينة ديربورن، أود أن أشكركم جزيل الشكر على ائتمانكم لأولادكم وبناتكم معنا طيلة هذه السنين، ونتمنى أن مدارس ديربورن قد تنال إعجابكم. في هذا اليوم المشهود تخرج فلذات أكبادكم من هذه الجامعة المبكرة ومن هذا البرنامج، ونشد على أياديكم لتكملوا المشوار في الخطوات القادمة. فالتعليم لا يتوقف الآن. لكي نتسلح ونواكب القرن 21 علينا التسلح بالتعليم، سواء كان بالبكالوريوس أو حتى الدكتوراه. الحياة كما تعلمون، العلم أسمى مبادئ الحياة. فالإنسان غالباً عندما يكون على نور وعلى تعلم كلما يكون آلة للخير والعطاء. رجائي ألا تستعجلوا على أولادكم، اعطوهم الفرصة لكي يتعلموا، واعطوهم الفرصة لكي يبدعوا. سنة، سنتين، 3 سنوات، 5 سنوات، وسيقضون وسيجنون الشهادات العليا، وسيقدمون لكم وللمجتمع كل الخير. أولادكم في الفترة هذه لم يتعلموا الأكاديميات فقط، بل تعلموا الصبر، تعلموا الشجاعة، تعلموا كل مبادئ الحياة الإنسانية وكل مبادئ الحياة السامية. ها أنتم اليوم تقطفون أول ثمار نضالكم وتضحياتكم. يتخرج فلذات أكبادكم من هذا البرنامج وسيواصلون المشوار، وأنا أيضاً أعاهدكم إن شاء الله سنواصل المشوار. وفقكم الله لما يحب ويرضى. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations.
Okay, thank you. I would like to now welcome to the stage Dr. Brooks. I'll say a little bit about her after, but I know she's on a very strict time limit today. She does have to leave a little early, so I know all of you know her. I know all of you love her. She is also retiring this year, so this will be her last commencement ceremony with us, so I'd like to give her a huge round of applause. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to speak at this event every year, and it's kind of extra exciting because you're kind of the last group, well, you will be the last group that gets to hear all my words of wisdom before we move forward into whatever comes next for me, which kind of reminds me of the theme of my words today, and I'll be brief. But graduating from Henry Ford Early College is the completion of a chapter in the book of your life. So now you all are preparing to write your next chapter. You know, it's going to be different for everyone. Some of you will go to work, some of you will go back to school, some of you will combine both. Some of you have no idea what you're going to do next, and that's okay. I was talking to some of the students earlier today. I said, just keep trying things until you find your passion, because your passion will never expire. Once you figure that out, you will be doing very, very well. Now, I have with me the person who is going to replace me at Henry Ford Health. We have a new name, so it's Henry Ford Health now, and his name is Dr. Beeper's Mamluk, and you will hear from him later, actually a few more words. But I just want to commend you all for your resilience. Everyone has already mentioned that you've been through in-person learning, virtual learning, hybrid learning, back to whatever, mask on, mask off. We're not really sure where we're supposed to be at sometimes, but you all persevered and stuck through it, and we're just extremely proud of you for your faith in the program and the things that you have accomplished. I'm excited for you. For those of you who are looking for work opportunities, you know how to reach me, but remember, I'm retiring soon, so you're going to have to reach me soon. I will help you to the best of my ability. And I just want to kind of paraphrase a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I commend you for having faith, and faith is basically taking that first step on the stairwell and you can't really even see where it's going. So I'm proud of you. I congratulate you. You guys should be thankful to your parents and loved ones for all the support they have given you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you both. And I don't know if you heard her clearly, but that was Dr. Mamluk, and he will be taking over as our program director at the health system. We are very honored to have such incredible partnerships with not only the Henry Ford Health Systems, but also with the Henry Ford College. And I'd like to welcome to the stage now President Russell Kavalhuna Esquire for some words.
Thank you, Mr. Salamey. Graduates, I'll tell you the best way to make a great commencement speech. It's to make it very, very short, and I'm going to do that for you. Look, that's an applause line. That is an applause line. I've got some very quick points, but the most important one is congratulations, and the best way to make a speech that's meaningful is to say less, because people have an opportunity to remember more. Let me talk to the parents very quickly. If you have a graduate, or if you have a niece or a nephew or a grandchild here, and they accomplished 10 credits of college credit, at the going rate at universities, you saved yourself $5,000. That's through a partnership with Henry Ford College and the Dearborn Public Schools that really doesn't exist anywhere in the country at this scale. If you had 30 credits, if you had 60 credits, you have saved your family $15,000, $30,000. If your student had 90 credits, you have saved your family and put them on the track to success to the tune of $45,000 as a result of leaders in Dearborn giving you the opportunity for free college. Graduates, I can give you a good argument for a graduation gift. Take your credits and tell your family, I just saved you $30,000. What can I buy with $30,000? What can you buy me as a present? Well, the truth is you have bought yourself with that savings a new path. Education is your opportunity to success. And so I'll ask you, what will you do with that? What will you do with your future? You now have so many more options because of what you have done. And I mean it. Think about it. You've saved money, you have access to knowledge, and now you have access to a greater future. What will you do with this? I'm so serious about that question And I'm so serious about what I mean when I say to you, you will say more if you say less, that's all I'll say. What will you do with your future? Congratulations.
That is wonderfully said. And again, I'd like to just reiterate one more time just how important the partnerships are for the success of our program. Dr. Maleyko, the executive cabinet, the school board, our partners at the college, our partners at the health systems and at Ford, make this all possible. Their dedication, their passion, their foresight on building this program, specifically with Mr. Majid Fadlallah as the architect, we were able to build something that only exists right here, that only exists in Dearborn and exists for all of you in our community. So please, one more round of applause. It kind of seems like a theme today, but this will also be the last time we see our president at the Henry Ford College. And if you have not heard, he has taken on a new role as the Chancellor of Virginia Community College Systems. And again, one more round of applause for all the work he did. Now getting back to the most important part of our ceremony today, and that's celebrating our students that are sitting before me today. Each graduating class has top academic achievers. These students compile outstanding academic records that earn them the titles of Valedictorian and Salutatorian. Today we are honored to celebrate 4 students. I'm going to ask Counselor Ms. Bazzi up to the podium here to help me pass out the sash. First, we're going to recognize the Valedictorian and Salutatorian from the Henry Ford Early College. Thank you. Up to the stage first is our class of 2022 Valedictorian for the Henry Ford Early College, Fatima Alkhalaf. Ms. Bazzi wanted to put the sash. She stole my thunder today. I've been looking forward to that. But hey, please turn around and face. One more round of applause. Fatima boasts an incredible 4.42 GPA. She's completed 86 college credits. Fatima will be a Spartan next fall, as she will be attending Michigan State University in hopes of majoring veterinary medicine. Congratulations. The Henry Ford Early College is honored to have Teya Dahabra as their salutatorian. Well, before you put that, she can put the medal on you now. Teya compiled a 4.41 GPA. She's walking away from our program with 92 college credits. In the fall, Teya will be attending the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, with a focus on molecular biology. Thank you, and congratulations. You forgot.
Actually, it flew off.
Now, I'm going to call up the Valedictorian for the Henry Ford Advanced Manufacturing. The class of 2022 Valedictorian is Mohamed Mourtada. Yeah, Mohamed achieved a 4.41 GPA. He is graduating today with 85 college credits. He will also be attending the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor and majoring in mechanical engineering. Congratulations and good luck. We are very honored today to have the Salutatorian, Mr. Mohammed Alyassiri, Alyassiri. Sorry, I was working on that last night with Mr. Hassan to make sure I said it right, so I apologize. You might just have to hold it. Mohamed earned a, wait, we're not done with you. Mohamed earned a 4.39 GPA. He is graduating with 95 college credits. He will also be attending the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor with a major in mechanical engineering. Please give one more round of applause for all four of our valedictorians and salutatorians. Thank you. I think it's also important to note that a theme on stage with our speakers today was the pandemic and just how difficult that process was. And I want you guys to be very proud as you walk off this field today that through all of that trouble, the students sitting before me were able to average nearly a 3.8 through the health program and a 3.6 through the advanced manufacturing program. That is a testament to the hard work of our teachers that made sure you were getting what you needed while you were gone, the hard work of our administrative staff to make sure that we were ready to go, and the school board. So again, a round of applause, not for what we did, because that wasn't much, but for you guys to be able to achieve what you did during that process. Each year, we recognize two outstanding speakers. I'd like to welcome back to the stage Fatima Alkhalaf, as she will be our first student speaker. She will be followed by Mohamed Mourtada. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank the staff and faculty for giving me the opportunity to speak here today to represent the graduating health class of 2022. Thank you to all of the family, friends, and other loved ones who could be here today to take part in this celebration. To all of the parents, your love and support throughout this journey has not gone unnoticed, and I hope that this day is as celebratory for you as it is for us. In all honesty, I had more difficulty writing this speech than any other college research paper or personal statement I've written so far. Because how could I effectively wrap up the last 5 years in less than 5 minutes? I figured I should start by taking some time to touch on the important moments that we've all experienced together. 5 years ago, every single one of us made the decision to apply to Henry Ford Early College. With that application, we made the choice to work towards our education in a unique and challenging way. Not only did we learn a lot about the health field and the future careers we would like to pursue, but we also gained a lot of life lessons along the way. Through our trips to Henry Ford Hospital and the help of Ms. Brooks, we were able to learn what it meant to be independent and work amongst other healthcare professionals. While we had many positive experiences and opportunities, it is equally as important to talk about some of the hardships we dealt with along the way. Our junior year, senior year, and super senior year were heavily impacted by COVID-19. We learned how to balance our education with everything going on in the outside world, and that was not an easy feat. I want to commemorate every student here today for getting through that period. You were able to adjust to changes in such a short amount of time, and that is something to be immensely proud of. I also want to give a few thanks to recognize the staff who never failed to support us throughout our time at Henry Ford Early College. First, I want to thank Mr. Falala and Mr. Salamey for giving us the opportunity to expand our knowledge beyond the classroom. Thank you to our counselors, Ms. Bazzi and Mr. Gothro, for always being available for advice and preparing us for our future. Thank you to Ms. Stevens for your infectious positivity and always making your classroom a comfortable space for students. She never failed to put a smile on our faces, even in the early mornings. Thank you to Mr. Saya, who gave students a voice through debates and public speaking. I would have not had the courage to do the speech today without it. Thank you to Mr. Riley for never turning away students who needed assistance in after-school tutoring. Thank you to Mr. Hussein for being a teacher that students can rely on through his support. Thank you to Ms. Fatia and Ms. Danny for always welcoming us into the office and making sure that we were prepared. I would also like to give a quick thank you to Ms. McKenzie. She may no longer be at Henry Ford Early College, but us students will always remember the way she helped us grow as individuals and the impact she had and the importance she put on indenting. Lastly, thank you to Ms. Mykowski, who never failed to remind us of the light at the end of the tunnel. Whenever things were getting difficult or our goals seemed unreachable, she reminded us of how much closer we were to the end. I will always be thankful for her and the motivation that she instilled in us. Fellow graduates, today belongs to us. We have worked so hard to reach this point, and I cannot believe that this day has finally come. At the end of this ceremony, we will no longer be Henry Ford Early College students, and will be moving towards new beginnings. Congratulations, class of 2022. The light is now in your hands. You have earned this moment. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. Tell me who you spend your time with, and I'll tell you. Sorry. Yep. Tell me who you spend your time with, and I'll tell you who you are. Congratulations to the class of 2022. To the parents who nurtured us, thank you. To the parents who nurtured us, and to the teachers who helped us through these years. I didn't anticipate how much I would grow fond of this school and the people around me, the class of 2022, the friends I've made, the people I've met, and the environment of family. One of the most special things we have is that we've grown together through these difficult years, and in one way or another, we've all affected each other's growth. It's sad to think that the day has come where we'll go our separate ways, where classes will be void of the people we know, the ones we look at when something funny happens, the people that make us laugh, and the people that push us to do better. But alas, to all things is an end, and what matters most is what we do with the time we have. I want to thank Mr. Fadlallah, all the teachers and staff who have sacrificed so much and put up with so much to help us learn, grow, and flourish. The people who opened so many doors we would never have found the keys to. Thank you. To my friends and classmates, I thank you for believing, respecting, and understanding our class, and the places we'll go and the things we'll do. Even if we haven't said it, I know we care for one another. And as long as we have each other, we can and will revolutionize the world. We may go our separate ways, but in the end, a tree grows from its roots. And these are our roots. The people around us, the friends we choose, and who we believe in. This is why I started this speech with a quote from Imam Ali. The people that you choose to spend your time with are the people that define you. They show you your personality and where you will end up. My hope, my deep hope, is that one day after we go our separate ways, we will meet again. We will share our new discoveries, our new knowledge, our stories, and we will prove to ourselves and to each other that what we set out to do has been accomplished, and that we knew from the very beginning we were always capable. So on that note, until next time, until we meet again, remember, the greatest view only comes after the hardest climb. And God willing, I'll see you at the summit. Thank you.
I should have had the both of you write my speeches. Great job. Another round of applause for both of them.